So we'll speak English in class as well as we'll speak Mandarin. So usually what happens when I teach a technique, I'll teach the whole technique in Mandarin first, and then I'll go through and I'll teach it all in English. So a lot of the parents have come up and said, hey, 5 months, 6 months later, my kid's English is getting better. We have the Bears Den 6 tenets in my gym that all the kids say at the end of classes, like courtesy, courage, confidence, commitment, challenge yourself with a champion's mindset.
And I love 6, because I'm from San Diego, I'm a surfer, so like a little shotgun, like you.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the NG 英文 Show. My name is John Drummond, or Yang Haoen.
Hi, 大家好，欢迎回到 NG 英文，我是 Stephanie。今天的来宾有非常多头衔 title， 那他是一位 MMA 的格斗选手，也同时是一位教练。那在台湾做很多跟武术格斗相关的教育，是为了让更多人有意识到 awareness 有这项运动。那接下来就让我们来欢迎 Demitri。
Today I am joined by, bro, you got many titles. You're an entrepreneur. You are a hustler. You are an incredibly talented MMA coach and fighter.
Thank you.
And just doing so many cool things in Taiwan, educating awareness about martial arts.
Correct.
Oh, man. So, everyone, please welcome Demitri.
Thank you. Right on. Thanks for having me,
What's
John.
up, man?
Thank you.
Dude, thank you for coming because you are up in Taipei right now, living out in Taichung. So, thank you for making the journey.
My pleasure. All worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Dude, so we had Marshall on recently, and Marshall was like, listen, you got to meet my man Demitri. Demitri has his own MMA school. He's teaching all ages. He's using Mandarin and English to teach, and he's spreading the vibes, the good vibes around the island.
Right, yeah.
So, dude, I'm so glad you're here. Could you
me.
give a little self-introduction to our audience here?
So my name is Demitri Telfair. I'm from Vancouver, Canada.
You.
I've lived in Taiwan now for 18 years.
Let's go.
And I'm the owner and head coach at the Bears Den, BJJ and MMA in Taichung, Taiwan here. And that's what I love to do. I made my passion and my hobby my job and occupation.
Oh, man. Just being able to find that connection right there is so, I'm so happy for you because that's a very difficult thing, man. And I know it hasn't always been a smooth linear path for you, but you're doing some incredible things, and I can't wait to share more about this journey. So I was thinking we could start though today with, first of all, some of my audience might know what MMA is and BJJ, but yeah, maybe do you mind kind of giving a little introduction, a high level for that? And then, what does it mean to you? Why did you get so deep into it?
MMA means mixed martial arts. That means you can mix in any style, whether it's karate, taekwondo, kung fu, boxing, grappling, such as wrestling or judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. BJJ means Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So it's a mix of all styles. So to me, the grandfather of MMA is Bruce Lee, because he was one of the first people to say, like, don't only study one style. You should be very well versed in many different situations and many stand-up or the ground or grappling. So that's what MMA means.
Oh, that's nice. That feels like a good metaphor for life, right? Like, don't just get so into one thing, right? The more versed you are in language and politics and history and finances, the more everything can kind of grow.
Yeah. Lifetime student.
Woo! Lifetime student. Yes, man. All right. So thank you for that kind of breakdown. And then, so how did you get involved? I mean, has this been something you've been doing your whole life? Did it more develop in Taiwan?
So since a young age, I grew up in a little rougher area, and my father always told me, have pride in yourself and stick up for yourself. So I never accepted being bullied or my sister being picked on in school, so I stood up for myself. So when I was younger, I got in some fights, as some kids do, and as a teenager, I got in lots of fights and balanced well my partying but also doing very well in school and co-captain of the basketball team and baseball team and stuff like that. And then when I was about 19, my best friend, who was a black belt in Taekwondo, and his whole family did Taekwondo, he said, you stop messing around on the street with these guys. If you really want to test yourself, you should compete or go against guys who are actually training. So then he invited me to go to his Taekwondo school, and that was the beginning of my martial arts journey, where I learned how to fight to learn how not to fight.
Ooh, well said right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to your buddy, because you
Red Feet.
Red Feet?
Brett
Fee.
Fee.
Brett Fee.
Yeah.
Shout out Brett Fee. Yeah, and beautifully said right there, because understanding, that inner discipline with yourself and how to cultivate that, knowing that actually you probably could hurt these people now, but maybe actually having a bit of a release in the gym and just getting more in tune with yourself and realizing like, hey, actually I don't need to fight these guys.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
It's beautiful, man.
Demitri 来自加拿大的温哥华，那他已经住在台湾18年了。那他目前是 The Bears Den 台中巴西柔术馆的老板跟总教练。那简单的跟各位介绍一下 ，MMA 就是 Mixed Martial Arts 的缩写，那中文的名称就是综合格斗。那代表你可以使用不同的武术，像是空手道 Karate、跆拳道 Taekwondo、功夫、拳击、摔跤 Wrestling 或是柔道 Judo 以及巴西柔术。所以对于来宾而言，其实 MMA 的爷爷就是 Bruce Lee 李小龙，因为他算是前几位开始宣导不要只学一种武术的人，而是应该精通 well-versed 于不同的武术，才能应付不同的状况。那来宾说他小时候是在一个比较艰辛的环境中 rough area 长大的，所以他的父亲跟他说过，他需要有自尊心 pride， 并且要为自己出头。那他也从来不能接受自己被欺负，或者是他妹妹被别人找茬 picked on。那他青少年的时期很常打架，但他也很爱玩，所以算是生活中达成了一种平衡。但来宾也强调自己的成绩其实也不错，而且在学校还是篮球队的副队长 co-captain。那带领他进入武术界的其实是他最好的朋友。那因为他最好的朋友是跆拳道的黑带，所以他就劝他说别再跟街上这些人搅和了，而是如果真的要测试自己的能力，就应该去跟有在训练的专业人士竞争。后来他朋友就邀请他到他的跆拳道馆，这也成为了他踏入武术的开始。那他也因为学会了武术之后，反而比较不常去打架了。或许是因为有了另一种释放能量的方式，也同时意识到自己真的有可能伤害到别人。我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
So now, fast forward 18 years
Yeah.
in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And have you always been interested in MMA here in Taiwan, or did you cultivate that? How did that develop?
So actually, like I watched UFC 1 and 2. I was at a neighbor's house when I was really young. I must have been like 11 years old. I was at a neighbor's house, and the dad we were all playing some card games in the kitchen, and the dad was in the living room, and he had popped in a VHS tape of UFC, and
you guys remember what a VHS tape?
Oh yeah, I'm back to my age now, right?
I
A
love it.
VHS tape. And he started going wild in the living room, and we're like, what's going on? So we run out there, and he's like, no, you kids can't watch this. It was like a little bloody and stuff. And then we were all really fascinated by it. So a couple days later, in my front yard, I said, who wants to come over? We're going to do UFC. So when I was like 11 and 12,
brawls.
That's right. We used to invite the neighborhood kids over, and we would wrestle. Of course, we didn't know what we were doing at all. We only knew like an arm bar, but we didn't know how to do it. Yeah. And so that's kind of like was like the first bit of it. But then I moved to Asia for martial arts to study. So I did Wing Chun Kung Fu in Canada. And then so my goal was to come to Asia. I didn't know whether it was Japan or Korea or China or Taiwan. And I wanted to continue my martial arts training, my Kung Fu training. And then I chose Taiwan because of the weather, and I read a lot about like the friendliness of the people. And I had also met a couple Taiwanese friends back in Vancouver when I played basketball, and they're like, you got to go to Taiwan. The food's great. People are great. So then, yeah, I pulled the trigger, and I moved here when I was 23 years old. One backpack and about 8,000 NT in my pocket, and that's it.
Oh, man.
来宾说他其实在11岁的时候就第一次接触到 UFC。那因为他当时在邻居家玩牌的时候，他朋友的爸爸就放了录影带 VHS Tape， 然后之后在客厅就变得超狂野，所以好奇的他们就跑去看发生什么事。那他就说小朋友不能看，结果过没几天之后，他们就邀请邻居到他们家去看 UFC， 然后开始模仿起摔跤。他们其实完全不知道自己在干什么。后来来宾在加拿大学了功夫，那他想要精进他的武术，所以想要搬到亚洲。那因为他以前没有想过要去哪个国家，那后来他选择台湾的原因是因为天气，而且也看到很多人说起台湾的友好性 friendliness。那当然也是因为他在温哥华有一些台湾朋友，然后一直跟他说台湾的食物有多好吃之类的。所以在23岁那一年，他就带着一个背包跟8000块台币就来到台湾了。那我们就继续来听接下来的专访吧。
And now you are the owner, the head coach of the Bears Den BJJ and MMA. And can you share about, classes? Are all ages welcome?
Yeah.
Are you coaching the whole time? Are you running the whole show?
I do have a lot of good coaches with me. I have 5 coaches under me right now. We offer kids classes that start at 5 years old and go to about 12 or 13. Then we have a teens program, and which is good for them to work with people their size and their age. And then we also have an adults program. So our youngest students are 5, and my oldest student is about 68 years old right now.
68?
Yeah. So, jiu-jitsu is a little bit for everyone. This is a cliche saying, but it is. Everybody has the opportunity, or at least if you have the mindset and the willpower to stick with it, it's for everybody. Self-defense wise, I feel it's the best martial arts out there, hands down.
Yeah, man, it's great. And Marshall and I were speaking about that as well. And just the fact that it's training your mind, it's training your body, it's training, and it's not such heavy impact.
That's right.
On maybe, your brain, on your body.
That's right.
And so hopefully, people can train long into older age.
Yeah.
So cool, man. And another thing you're also doing, which I love, we had Jeff Huang on the show many years ago, actually. And
nice.
You helped kind of cultivate more of the professional level MMA scene here in Taiwan. Is that right?
Yeah, a little bit. Along with Jeff and Rocky Lee, we had a good core group of guys. Everyone's kind of branched out and did their own things and moved different places, but that helped to spread. So Jeff and Rocky and myself, we are sometimes doing little small seminars in smaller cities and small gyms to kind of spread the word. And we have the WOTD, which is the Taiwan Mixed Martial Arts, the Way of the Dragon.
Way of the Dragon, that's right.
Way of the Dragon promotion, which is a couple times each year. So if amateur, young up-and-coming Taiwanese fighters are interested, they can find a good gym. Go find Jeff, come find me, come find some of the guys who have been around this sport for a long time, and they can try to achieve their dream by maybe one day fighting in a cage, which is pretty exhilarating and exciting.
Man. I'm guessing Kai Wu,
yes,
Shadow.
Yes.
A good friend of mine. And I think he did he get his start in Taipei?
I think it was in California.
In California,
yeah.
Okay.
I think in the States.
I think he's back though right now, potentially for that fight, right?
He's fighting next weekend, and I'll most likely be refereeing his match.
Wow!
I've refereed 3 of his matches now. Yeah.
Wow, it's
a great
cool
fighter.
too because I've gone to a few of those events and I probably have seen you, and now we get to connect it all.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right on.
Very cool, man. Well, I love all the things you're doing. Thank you so much for all the things you're doing. Because I know, we were talking a little bit about how young kids can feel excited to come in, learn about their bodies, learn about their, mindset, and also learn about their language, because you're teaching full on in Mandarin and in English, right?
That's correct. And I tell a lot of the parents that this is one of the selling points of our kids program, is that both of our kids coaches are bilingual. So we'll speak English in class as well as we'll speak Mandarin. So usually what happens when I teach a technique, I'll teach the whole technique in Mandarin first, and then I'll go through and I'll teach it all in English. And then I'll switch partners and demonstrate with somebody else, and I'll do it all again in Mandarin, and I'll do it all again in English. So a lot of the parents have come up and said, hey, 5 months, 6 months later, my kid's English is getting better. And not only is their English going to improve, but kids will build up such things as like courtesy, perseverance. They challenge themselves. Right? We have the Bears Den 6 tenets in my gym that all the kids say at the end of class. It's like courtesy, courage, confidence, commitment, challenge yourself with a champion's mindset. Woo! These are the 6 C's of the Bears Den tenets.
The 6 C's.
Yeah.
And I love 6, because I'm from San Diego. I'm a surfer, so like the little shaka, like you.
Yeah.
I love that,
Matches
man.
in there perfectly.
Yeah. So you're saying how the kids are developing these 6.
That's right. So we focus on these principles. The parents see that, we get some kids and the parents are like, my child is ADHD, or he's a little more hyperactive. I hope that this will calm him down. And we offer an environment for the kids to, when they first come in, they can run around, they can play a little bit, they can play with the balls, and then about 10 minutes before class starts, I'm on them a little bit. I'm like, all right, let's get our mind into jiu-jitsu now, start to practice some moves, and then we get right into class, where they're going to have a lot of fun. they're going to get good exercise if you come to the Bears Den. We're not like some of these other gyms where the kids come and the teacher or the coach is just going to chat with them and teach them too many principles. Parents want their kids to get tired.
Yeah.
You bring your kids to me, you're going to shake my hand after and be like, my kid goes to bed sound asleep right at whatever time I want them because they're tired.
Yeah.
Right? They get their shower, they get a little bite to eat, finish their homework, and then they're in bed. And that's what we want, right? Parents want that too. So I gotta get good exercise.
I love that, man. And yeah, you know, it's so beautiful because it's making me think how much confidence is one of your pillars here. How much confidence they must be gaining in themselves, but also unintentionally for language, you know, that they are getting the instruction in Mandarin, in English, but it doesn't feel like this sitting down in bushibans, getting this like,
point,
you know, like, I gotta memorize everything. It's like, no, actually, let me move my body. Let me learn these things. Let me hear it in Mandarin so I can understand. And then actually let me hear it again in English. Yes,
absolutely.
So beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's a great point.
来宾说他现在底下有几位蛮好的教练，那他们会分成3种班级，有儿童班会收5岁到12、13岁左右的孩子，那另外也有青少年班，因为这样他们才能够跟他们体格跟年纪比较像的人上课。那最后就是成人班，那来宾说他最小的学生是5岁，年纪最大是68岁。那来宾说其实柔术很适合所有年龄层，因为他认为毫无疑问 hands down 这是最好的自我防卫武术。那来宾也曾经和我们的另一个来宾 Jeff Huang 合作过，那他们会在不同的地方开设讲座去宣传武术。那如果有业余的 amateur 的格斗选手想要找一间好的格斗馆，并且达成他们的梦想站到格斗笼内的话，可以联络 Jeff 或者是 Demitri 哦。那来宾说他现在都会用中英文授课，那这也是他们的卖点之一，像他在教一个技巧的时候会先用中文先说明一遍，之后再次用英文说。那有些家长们会给的回馈就是他们在这边的5-6个月期间发现他们的孩子的英文进步了不少，而且小孩也会培养出礼貌跟毅力，并且也会比较愿意挑战自己。那来宾说他们的格斗馆内会宣导6个 C， Courtesy 礼貌， Courage 勇气， Confidence 自信， Commitment 承诺，以及 Challenge yourself with a champion's mindset 用冠军的思维挑战自己。那他们有一些家长说小孩有过动症，所以希望上课之后会比较冷静一些，这也是为什么他们上课之前会让小孩先玩一下。但上课的时候他们除了会玩得很开心之外，也会真的运动到。那他会强调这一点是因为其实外面蛮多格斗馆都会一直说明原则，但因为他知道家长送他们来的目的就是希望小孩回去之后会比较累，所以他们都会好好的操他们。那我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
I'd love to share your story with Mandarin because, you know, like I love your teaching now in Mandarin and English. And so how did you develop your own Mandarin?
So before I came to Taiwan, when I knew I wanted to come here, I did study in Vancouver at Douglas College for a semester.
So cool.
And my teacher was from Hong Kong, so I kind of learned like the simplified version and with the R and everything in there. But it was good. It gave me a good basis when I came to Taiwan, and then pretty much I self-studied the whole time. I had a friend when I lived in Taipei. We did some 2-on-1s for maybe 5-6 months, and then for the rest of the time I pretty much all self-studied. I bought the Shida books way back in the day, and then I finished all the way to like book 5, and then just every day trying to speak, every day making mistakes, every day saying things incorrectly, having somebody hopefully correct me when they're not too buaisa, right? and then yeah, just practicing every day, and so now it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah, man.
We can always improve.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. And I love that concept right there, guys. Listening is just, you know, having the courage, because it can be embarrassing, right? It can be scary to say something and be wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, Demitri, I know your mindset is about, hey man, it's all about experience. It's all about kind of getting better each day, that 1% better every day.
Absolutely.
I see that that's your mindset. You just said some great kind of tips and advice, but I always try to give actionable tools of like that moment maybe that really forced you to level up. Do you remember anything that really forced you?
Yeah, I had started working for a English school, and you have to teach in English and Chinese, and you have to teach all of the grammar in Chinese.
The hardest part in Chinese, yeah.
And it really gave me a lot of pressure. So some nights to prepare for my class the next day, I was in the office at the school till like 12:30 at night, writing my pinyin besides the characters, writing down all my sentences. I would record them on my phone and then review them back and let my director listen to them, make sure that they're okay. So that pressure that I had to learn and to write out my sentences and practice it, that's what made my Mandarin really kick up to the next level.
Wow. Yeah.
Pressure.
That pressure, right? That applied pressure, something you need to do this well, but your director hopefully is giving you feedback and kind of, lifting you up along the way. But I'm so happy to hear that. And I do know the academy kind of school you're talking about. And yeah, I mean, some of my favorite people actually work there. Because,
oh, nice.
Yeah, they are like, hey man, I'm getting way better as a human with my Mandarin because of this, but it's not just like it's not just a English teaching job. Like this is leveling me up in so many ways. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very cool, man.
Yeah, it was good.
So cool. So I'm also thinking how so the Bears Den is basically creating a language exchange, and for your coaches and instructors and for the kids. So could foreigners and Taiwanese go train at this?
Absolutely. So we have members from all over. I would say last time I counted, we had members from over 30 different countries training with us, right? So not only are you going to be able to get good exercise, you are going to meet people from all different walks of life and different cultures and different countries. And then, a lot of people will like teach each other a little bit of English, a little bit of Chinese. Some of the students who come in and they don't speak any English, 6 months later, they know lots of the body parts. They know some of the regular sentences and stuff we say. So it's very inviting. I always try to make sure none of my students feel left out and no small kind of cliques and stuff develop. We try to keep everything together and like, hey, if we're having a conversation over here and you kind of look like you're interested, come on over and like we'll help you a little bit and tell you what we're talking about kind of thing.
I love that, man. That inclusivity right there.
That's right.
That's a vibe.
Bringing everyone together. That's right.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Demitri, you're a legend.
Hey, my pleasure, man.
Dude,
Thank
very
you, John.
cool, guys. Please, we'll plug all the socials at the end here, but yeah, man, I hope that you have some twins and you guys can make some more spots around the island, but nice. I know it's a lot.
yeah.
But
I'll work on it.
Goals. There we go.
Yeah.
来宾来台湾之前，他有在温哥华学了1学期的中文。那他的老师是香港人，并且教了他们简体中文，所以奠定了一些基础。那他来到台北之后，他就跟另外一位朋友上1对2的课程，大约5到6个月。那之后的时间他都是自学的。他当时还买了师大的课本，而且也试着每一天都使用中文，即使很烂，因为他希望有人可以纠正他。那后来他在英文补习班教英文，但因为教文法的时候还是需要用中文解释，所以也给了他蛮大的压力。像他当时为了准备隔一天的上课内容，他都会准备到晚上12点多，并且在中文字的旁边写下拼音，而且要重复复习句子，跟录音给他当时的总监听。那他认为因为有写了这些句子的压力，所以才使他中文进步的。那来宾表示，现在有来自30多个国家的学员，他觉得在他们的格斗馆上课的好处就是真的能运动到之外，也会遇到来自不同文化的人，就算是一开始都不会说英文的人，在这边上课一阵子之后，就会一些常用的句子。那他们馆内有一个很好的风气，就是会尽量避免小团体，反而会鼓励大家，包括所有人。那我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
But a question I love to end the show with here on NG Ingwen is if you could go back and talk to maybe a fighting Demitri, more of a street hustling Demitri, would there be any advice you give yourself about being an entrepreneur, commitment, grit, resiliency, anything?
Yeah, so I don't want to say all the cliche sayings, but I'm gonna, right? Don't listen to the haters. And as you climb and as you progress with a business or with your art or with whatever it is, there's always going to be people who will try to, stand in your way. There's always going to be aporias that you got to get over, right? So just keep going. Keep your mind frame focused. Keep looking forward, onward and upward. Yeah. Keep that positivity onward and upward.
Onwards and upwards. Yeah. And I love it, man. And you've been an example of that as you go, and it's been great to meet you, and I hope I can see more of your development as you go.
Absolutely.
Cool, dude.
来宾会给年轻自己的建议就是，虽然听起来有点老套 cliché， 但他想要说的是，不要听取那些酸你的人 haters， 因为当你在往上爬或是在进步的时候，永远都会有人挡住你的路，而且会有一个难题 aporia 需要通过，所以就是要忽略这些，继续下去， 而且要带着正能量的一直往前哦。那我们就谢谢今天的来宾 Demitri。
Well, yeah, where
Thanks,
can people find you online? Where can they find Bears Den online?
So on Facebook, you can find us at the Bears Den BJJ and MMA. It's 熊派巴西柔术及综合格斗。
Woo!
And
That's a mouthful.
And on Instagram, we're the_bears_den_MMA.
Nice.
So if you pretty much type in the Bears Den MMA anywhere on Google, you'll find us. And our webpage is www.thebearsdenmartialarts.com.
There it is.
Yep.
Thebearsdenmartialarts.com.
Yeah.
All right, Demitri. Well, thank you for joining us on the NG English show, my man.
My pleasure, John.
Yeah. We'll
Thanks
talk
for
to you
having me.
next time.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the NG English show. Please, if you guys have anyone who is interested in learning about martial arts and just wants to learn more about themselves, please reach out to Demitri at the Bears Den, wherever you can find him. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. All right, well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.